cut crime 30%. And when USC was reeling, I demanded accountability. I'm running for mayor because I love LA. Starting day one, we're gonna get it cleaned up and we're gonna do it together.
Wondering about the big game? Ask Charlie.
Well, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's whether or not you beat the spread.
Charlie's got all the answers. Weeknights at 7:30 on KTLA 5.
Now at noon, the Orange County Sheriff's Department is set to update the public on yesterday's deadly shooting at a Laguna Woods church. That news conference is set to begin in just moments, and we will bring it to you as soon as it begins. Thank you for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. One person died and another 5 were injured when a man opened fire at that church.
It was part of a violent weekend that included 10 people killed in another mass shooting in Buffalo, New York. We have live team coverage following the latest developments this afternoon.
First, let's get to KTLA 5's Sarah Welch. She's live in Laguna Woods with details on yesterday's attack at the church. Sarah?
Hi, Lou and Glenn. Good afternoon. Well, that news conference is set to get started any minute now. We are waiting for that and any new details. And there are still so many questions about what happened here yesterday. One of the biggest questions, of course, is the motive. What prompted this man, this 68-year-old man, to open fire on a crowd of churchgoers? What we do know is the name of the suspected gunman. He's been identified as David Chow, 68 years old. Our law enforcement sources says the man who is Taiwanese doesn't live around here. His last known address, Las Vegas, and it appears he drove to Geneva Presbyterian Church to carry out the deadly attack. Why? We still don't know.
At this time, we do not know what the suspect's motive may be, or whether he had an intended target, or whether this is even a hate-related incident.
Our law enforcement sources tell us Chow doesn't appear to have a criminal record. Witnesses at the church say they didn't recognize him, but they welcomed him to the luncheon that was honoring a visiting pastor. Now, that was yesterday afternoon when Chow opened fire during a banquet, killing 1 man and wounding 5 others. The banquet was honoring a visiting pastor from Taiwan, and we don't know yet if the gunman knew that pastor. Our sources tell us when Chow began firing, that visiting pastor threw a chair at the man, and then attendees of the luncheon jumped him, hog-tied his legs with extension cords, and then they were able to secure the 2 handguns the man was holding. Law enforcement described the exceptional courage to take down this armed gunman.
That group of churchgoers displayed what we believe is exceptional heroism and bravery in intervening to stop the suspect. They undoubtedly prevented additional injuries and fatalities.
Now, we've also learned as part of the investigation, law enforcement searched the man's car last night and found a note written in Chinese. We don't know yet what that note said or if it has any connection to this. Also, that source tells us Chow has a wife back in Taiwan who is facing a terminal illness, and it's not clear if her medical situation plays into any of this at all either. Now, another big question is, where did these 2 handguns come from? Law enforcement said yesterday expedited tracing has been underway, and we may learn more about that too in the news conference. As we wait for that news conference to get underway, what we do know is Chow has been booked on 1 count of felony murder and 5 counts of attempted murder. And back here live outside the church, again, it is still surrounded with yellow crime scene tape. The man is being held on $1 million bail. He is due in court tomorrow. We'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
Sarah, thank you. We are learning more about the victims of this church shooting as well.
All right, we're going to go to the news conference at the Sheriff's Department in Orange County right now for an update on the shooting in Laguna Woods.
Church shooting. Today speaking, we'll have Sheriff Don Barnes from the Orange County Sheriff's Department. He will be followed by Division Chief Michael Contreras from the Orange County Fire Authority, then Assistant Director in Charge Christy Johnson from the FBI Los Angeles, followed by Assistant Special Agent in Charge Stephen Galloway of the ATF Los Angeles, and then finally District Attorney Todd Spitzer from the Orange County District Attorney's Office. We will take a few questions at the end of the press conference. Thank you so much.
First, I want to just say that